What up, guys? It's We Don't Know Ball with Jules Retro and Sir Bears a lot over here. We are talking about the divisional round this week, and as you guys know, I am the sole left guy. So we can talk about that eventually. But how you guys doing before we get into the talks of the best team in the fucking NFL?
With you being the sole last guy, does that mean that I had 2 chances and got knocked out in 2 rounds? By the
You
way,
got knocked out fucking twice, dog.
I
That's
did get knocked out
crazy.
twice. Call me Jake Paul. Good
Well,
lord.
Type shit.
you know
Type
what?
shit.
Listen, you might be the sole left guy, but I have the number 7 overall pick. So who's really winning? That's how you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get somebody great.
Mind you, the same guy predicted NFC East title division winners, NFC champions, and Super Bowl at the very beginning of this podcast.
I'll admit
so
it. I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't see my whole team getting hurt. Unfortunately, I couldn't just like rub a crystal ball and see my entire roster slowly fading away.
here, let me get the cope for you. Hold on. Let's get the cope.
For sure, man.
Yeah, you get him the cope. Yeah,
But I'm doing
nobody
good.
relevant got hurt on the Commanders this year. They just
I'm doing great. The football so far, like for the playoffs, has been phenomenal. Like it's been a really good year, which is nice. Hopefully the championship games stay that way. But I'm not so sure. But we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been great. Obviously, Indiana just won the national championship, which I'm really happy about. So shout out to Kurt Signetti and the Hoosiers because that is insane that they were able to do that. But yeah, great week for football, boys. I'm excited.
Kurt Signetti might be the greatest hire in college football history. I just want
he is outside of like Nick Saban.
I know we talk pros and I don't really do college, but I think it's hilarious the way that Signetti builds lineups. He looks for guys that were 3-star recruits out of high school, lets them develop, and then brings them into Indiana just to put it all together as a culture. So it sounds like Indiana's the melting pot of the college football world for at least this year.
I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. Another Big Ten school winning national championship. Go Big Ten supremacy. Kalen DeBoer was supposed to be the Kurt Signetti. You remember those conversations? Because I was a big DeBoer guy when he came from UW, but like, Jesus fucking Christ, does that look like an L now?
He was. You know what the problem is? Kalen DeBoer, they put way too much on his shoulders. Kalen DeBoer got really lucky because the year that he goes to the Natty, they have Michael Penix, they have Rome Odunze, an absolutely insanely loaded receiving core. They have a loaded offensive line. That team is stacked front to back. It wasn't really like a huge coaching job. Like you said, very different at Indiana. He just takes a bunch of like 3-star guys and then just like molds them into being good at football. Which, I guess is a winning strategy, but Indiana, the transfer portal has been insane. They just got Josh Hoover from TCU, and he low-key might win the Heisman. He's 5th in Heisman odds for next year. So Indiana could win back-to-back, and then it would really be the Nick Saban, Alabama-esque era.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to, again, I sat down and watched the national championship for the first time in God knows how long. And watching the way Mendoza played, that dude is literally ride or die for his teammates. Like, that touchdown run he had was unbelievable.
That was a Heisman moment, bro.
The fact that he sold out for that and then in the post game just literally said, I would die for my teammates. Like,
and he almost did because
Las Vegas, please don't squander this, dude.
I want to point out he almost did because his offensive line might actually be the worst I have ever seen. There was a point in time during the second half, I think it was like halfway through the third quarter, where he had 3 total pass attempts, and on those he had 3 sacks. The guy literally had 0 time to throw the football. I can't believe he was able to get throws off. Like,
yeah. Well, congratulations to Indiana. Let's move on to the pro side of things. So before we get into the games from this week, just a couple things I'd like to talk about a little bit. First off, the Bills finally make the move and fire McDermott. Yep. But Brandon Beane gets to keep his job. What does that mean for Buffalo? Why are we keeping... If we're going to do something to fire McDermott, who it really isn't like his fault, why are we not cleaning house? If you're making that one move, why are we not cleaning house?
Well, I do have a question before we go into this. Didn't he get promoted
Yes.
Yep, he got promoted.
So that's the big thing. Like, that's disgusting work. I will say,
you can't do your job, so we're going to promote you so somebody else can do your job and you can have a different job.
Right. Like, that's just like, we know you're bad at your job. Here's a different thing, because we don't necessarily have it's the reworkings thing. For this year, I think it's McDermott's. A big blame is McDermott's fault. But when you look at the totality of the Bills' sorrows, and we'll get into it, I don't know if majority of these woes are his fault. I just think it's more of like the time where, like, okay, now we can finally put some, like, majority of the blame on McDermott because of some of the play calling and the situations defensively. But in the totality of things, I don't like this firing because of the context behind it. I just want him. I want the Bills, like, they basically are now screwed, because I think their best shot to get back to any type of, like, playoff talk with a good coach has now gone down the drain, with McDaniel going to be OC and on the Chargers. So now with the like, with the several names that are out there, it's kind of like you're kind of SOL. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I just that's my feelings for it.
As far as the situation goes, I want to give a big shout out to this man, Brand the Benchwarmer on TikTok, because he probably put out the funniest video about this I've ever seen. He literally goes on to say McDermott's fired, and what do we do with you, Brandon? He goes, hear me out, promote me. And he goes, if I was this bad at this job, imagine how good I could be if I tried a different job. And it was by far the funniest thing to me. So I just was like, that is exactly what it feels like is happening right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see Josh Allen without McDermott.
And there's so many things. Brandon Beane, and on his oversight, Brandon Beane did a few things that I would consider a little more than highly questionable. I don't know if you guys remember, a few years back, 2022, there was a certain pass rusher in free agency who was 33 years old. His name was Von Miller. And the Bills were like, oh, you're 33? Cool. Let's sign you to a 6-year, $120 million contract. I'm sure that won't be a problem. That was Mr. Bean. They also signed Curtis Samuel, which didn't work. They signed Mario Addison to a 3-year, $30 million deal when he was 33. I guess they just love 33-year-olds. And also under him was the infamous 2024 Bills class, which in this class, they have 10 draft picks. And the best of these picks is probably Keon Coleman, who's been honestly kind of a disappointment for his draft selection. Cole Bishop, who's a decent safety, and Ray Davis, who's been a solid back, I guess, kind of, and a decent returner. Outside of that, they draft Dwayne Carter, Cedric Van Pran Granger, Edifon Ulofoshio, Javon Solomon, Tylen Grable, Daquan Hardy, and Travis Clayton. This guy is a bum at his job. He genuinely does not know what he's doing.
I don't know anybody you just named.
I don't either. So it's like
I almost said bless you. Like,
and they had 10 picks. You have 10 picks. You draft 3 people that are arguably decent, and that's 10 more.
That's 10 more picks than the Jets defense had this year.
That's a good point. But yeah, no, I mean, this guy, like, literally the only thing that he ever did that was worth anything was like Josh Allen and like the whole like taking a chance on him. Outside of that, this guy has literally just been useless. Like, I don't know.
I wanna like swiftly move from that. This kind of ties in. I just want to quickly go over the 6 head coach vacancies and just see what you guys like. What your thoughts are and how things are going to go for this. So obviously, first up chronologically would be Arizona. Like, what are we seeing here? Like, we saw Saleh go off the board. He's going to take the Tennessee job. But what do you get?
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him, because it worked so well in New England with a better team. But anyway, what do you guys think? Like, who or what do you think Arizona can do to like make a push, especially when they're in the division they're in?
I mean, that's kind of the problem. Like, you're in the hardest division in football, outside of maybe the NFC North. And then, not only that, you're the Cardinals. So it's like, A, how do you attract a coach in the first place? You're in a
You don't.
sucky division. You really don't have much help. Your quarterback's mid, and he's on a huge contract, so there's not much you can do. It's in Arizona, so it's going to be 150 degrees all the time, and your family's going to hate it. How do you, I don't know. I don't know. I can't see, I literally cannot see any coach in this cycle being like, yeah, man, I'm going to go coach Arizona. Like, I don't know, but hey, maybe they get Cliff Kingsbury back. Maybe round 2.
Maybe they're the team that lands the college coach.
They could. Or, like I said, round 2 with Cliff Kingsbury. Ding, ding, ding. Maybe.
This screams college coach to me because they need a extreme culture change. Because I was adamant, and I was actually funny enough. I was actually talking to a Cardinals fan on a live.
Those exist.
Those exist, yeah. All 17 of them. Maybe not even that, right? And
I think the Browns have more fans.
I was saying to him that I was a big proponent of Jonathan Gannon when he first came in because he was making slow progressions for that defense to enculturate them to be like, this is going to be our identity, a good team, a good back end team to where your pass defense is going to be our identity, and we'll go from there and kind of work in with Kyler and the offensive weapons. Now it's like Kyler is basically, I hate Kyler. You need an offensive-minded coach to where, and I was talking to him and he agreed that you need an offensive-minded coach that helps both Marvin Harrison Jr. specifically and James Conner to get all these kind of target shares because Trey McBride is awesome. But when you only really have 1.5 guys, because Michael Wilson is kind of like, he's iffy, and you spend a top 5 pick on Marvin Harrison, who doesn't get that much of equal target share, you have to have a quarterback to where it's like, we're involving our top 5 pick, he's developing well. So you need a good offensive mind. So this is where like a college coach who could be familiar with the traits of Marvin Harrison, with the traits of Trey, and all this kind of stuff.
So what are they going to do? Sign Brian Dable?
That could be an option. I'm not mad at that because Dable.
I mean, if you wanted to just fully commit to offense, you could sign Lincoln Riley. I mean, realistically, if you just want to fully commit to offense and full send, if he wants to leave college finally, I mean, Lincoln Riley could be.
Yeah, that's really all I have on AZ there. Next one up is Baltimore's job. Probably the most appealing job out there right now, in my opinion, just because of the star power that they have.
Well, and the star power, it's a well-run franchise. Like, it's a place that you would want to be. Like, it's a place that you definitely would not mind going to, I think. I don't really know, though, to be honest. Maybe Dabble, honestly. Like, I think he's a good coach. I think he just kind of got screwed by the Giants, to be honest.
I think this screams Brian Flores. Like, screams it.
Don't say that.
I could see that.
Don't say that.
I know, Justin, I know, but like,
I already lost my number 1 candidate. Don't say that.
I know, but like, the amount of weapons that they still have on the defense, like a lot of them were hurt this year, and we were clowning them. Like I said, the specific dream team stuff. Brian Flores can just run these zone blitzes that he did in Minnesota, and he has better weapons here that are younger and more unique. Like, that's what Brian Flores is going to be able to do. Now, granted, the OC is going to be more of the question because now Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry is great, but again, he is slowly regressing, right? It's going to be like, we were talking about him being like LeBron for NFL. It's like, it's Father Time will eventually get there. It's just going to be regression, but like, wide receiver help he needs, tight end help he needs. So
if they sign Brian Flores, you're going to hear Retro and I backtrack to like episode 2 of this podcast, and we're going to say Baltimore's secondary is going to be unbelievable. We're going to watch the emergence of Malachi.
Justin, I was literally about to say, if Brian Flores signs with the Ravens, I am picking the Ravens as my Super Bowl winner for next year. Like, I would 100% commit to that. That team is so nasty. They literally just need a coach to get them in the right direction, and maybe a receiver. That's all they need.
They do need a certified receiver 1, because Zay Flowers is a good receiver, but not a receiver 1 good receiver.
And the thing is, I think they can find one in the draft. There are plenty of good talent in the sea. I mean, hell, Indiana's basically got 3. Like, I'm sure they could probably.
I completely disagree. I think there's about I hate to say it because I told you this is staying in another year, so nobody do the motion. There's about 6 to 7 good receivers in college football, and this is why you're a guest.
I would go after Charlie Becker. That's what I would do. That guy is a monster.
They need a certified now number one. They don't need another project number one. They can definitely go draft. They can definitely go draft him and get him into it, but they need a certified number one.
Charlie Becker reminds me of what Ladd McConkey looked like in college.
How's Ladd McConkey look right now?
Well, Ladd McConkey was really okay. Ladd McConkey's really good. It's just that what happened was Ladd McConkey kind of was forced into like a wide receiver 2 role because Quentin Johnston was doing so well, and then Keenan Allen kind of came out of his shell, and it was kind of
like I said, what happens in college doesn't move me for what they can do in the NFL.
And that's fine, but I mean, I think he's got the talent. I would go after a receiver in this class. Like
they do need a receiver. I, however, think that they go and get a receiver and draft a tight end. Just somebody who can complement Isaiah Likely going forward.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you need a tight end. You have Likely, who's the young gun, and Andrews, who's the veteran. I think you're good.
I think they need to get rid of Mark Andrews. To be honest, I'm so over it. I mean, I don't know if he needs a scene change to revamp. He's probably got 3-ish years left in his career. So
I actually think the only thing that they need to do, Mark Andrews is fine catching the football until it's time to catch a 2-point conversion. So what I would do is I would just say, Mark Andrews, you can just keep being you, but hey, for 2-point plays,
he can catch a football until it comes down to catching a football. It sounds like a certain America's favorite team's receiver one. That's crazy.
Hey, well, listen, that's why we have Isaiah Likely. So whenever we need a clutch catch, we say, "Hey, Mark, you can."
What are the other teams? Justin?
Next up is the most recently vacant Buffalo Bills.
That's another good job spot because Josh Allen.
Do you think that they just promote Joe Brady?
I wouldn't mind
that.
It's
very possible.
The thing is, you want to keep it in-house if you can. Like that's typically like Washington, for example. We fire Cliff and we just promote David Blow because we're like, if you can keep it in-house, that's what you want.
Well, my thing is if they promote him, who do they bring in to take his job? Because it's not going to be in-house. They're going to have to bring in a coordinator if he gets promoted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they can find somebody. I mean, because the Bills is a desirable spot to be right now.
I completely agree. I mean, you have a supposed top 4 quarterback. You have a supposed probably top 5 running back. Like your receivers are severely mid, and if they don't move on from Keon Coleman's immature ass, like they're
I would trade Keon Coleman. I would commit to Khalil Shakir and then try to get one other guy beside Khalil Shakir.
See, that'll after we finish the teams, this will kind of move into the other talking point before we start the games. Next up is Cleveland. I mean, who takes on the 3-ring circus?
Yeah, God bless. This one screams college coach because no NFL coach would take it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
I have a weird feeling that this is a John Gannon landing spot. I have a weird feeling that this is Dable or Gannon.
You think Dable wants perfect timing?
Yeah, perfect. Because he some of the traits that Shedeur has was similar to, not in the rushing aspect, but arm talent and progressions is a little bit better than Daniel Jones coming out. But it's where Dable could probably mold him.
I agree. I actually, all jokes aside, I actually think Shedeur has a lot of natural talent. I think he just needs to kind of
I agree, but I don't think he'll ever be considered a top 10 quarterback in the league.
No. But I mean, I think he could be top 20 if you mold him correctly.
And that's why I think Dable would probably take this, because I think he's a very good development.
A developmental coach, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, what you really need is what you need to do, and I think the Browns understand this, is you want to build around Quinshon Judkins because he does have superstar potential, and then
they have two solid second-year running backs.
And the other thing is, I'd make the argument you have another superstar in Harold Fannin because I think Harold Fannin is like a second away. Like him and Njoku are going to be easily the best tight end duo in the league.
And obviously I think they need to draft a receiver because I think Jerry Jeudy's time in the sun is over. So
and that's the other thing. Jerry Jeudy's he's a good wide receiver too, and then you just need to get a star beside him. And then honestly, you've got a good and the defense is already there. You don't even need to do anything with the defense. You're good. So I think you've got Schlesinger, Garrett. They look good.
The next one up is probably the most interesting. What coach wins the Mendoza lottery? Who's going to end up as the Vegas head coach?
Tom Brady. That'd be funny.
What the fuck did they have to work with?
Nothing.
Mendoza.
Until they trade Max Crosby, nothing. They have Tyreek Cohen 2.0 in the backfield. Yeah. They have, oh my God, Dante. What the hell is the kid's name? Dante something at receiver. I mean, he has Brock Bowers.
But I forgot Brock Bowers.
Is it like Dante Thornhill or something like that? Thornwell, something like that?
My hot take, because they were trying to be my team 2.0 this past year, they might go get Clint Kubiak from us.
I wouldn't mind that. I think that as far as the Raiders are concerned, yes, it's bad. I don't think it's terrible. You have Mendoza, you have Genti. What you really need to do is you need to build a good offensive line, because the thing is, you go out in the draft. Let's say that you because they're obviously taking Mendoza. Let's say you do get him a couple of his guys. You get him one of his receivers. You get him like his center, Pat Coogan.
I was gonna say, let's start with his center.
Right, and then you just build a couple of decent like linemen beside him to keep him a little bit comfortable. I really think the Raiders could be like a 6-win team next year-ish, which would be a little bit of a step up, and then they could still get a good pick. I think that would probably be a good start for them. I don't think they're going to be like awful next year.
I still think they're going to be awful until they move on and trade Max Crosby for his worth that is slowly declining every year just because that's how it works in the NFL. They are not going to be a competitive team, and that's
you either have to trade him or you have to pair him with somebody else and really commit to him. It's either one or the other. You've got to like go full in or full out.
And the last one,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Everyone knows that I wanted Stefanski. That was who I thought would have been helpful. It would have taken him probably 2 years to figure it out, which is fine because it would have got us draft picks. We do, however, need a defensive-minded head coach. Even though we're coming in probably with a second-year quarterback, it's going to be Will Howard's rookie year. Coming in with a second-year quarterback, we do need a hybrid coach, but I think if we take the defensive route the way that, like, Sean Payton has basically done with Denver and things like that, like, I think it can help us build for the future. Our defense has holes, to say the least. Our offense is in shambles outside of our dual running back threats. We need help. We need a lot of help. And without Tomlin this year, I think we are probably a 5-6 win team. And I'm A-okay with that because you need to lose a year and get a good draft pick to try to figure something out. Or if you take that draft pick and trade it out if it gets to be that valuable. So,
no, I was going to say, I feel like it's almost like a necessity for you guys to have a bad... Like, I feel like you're almost rooting for it because it's like, okay, once we have that bad year to kind of like, get everything straight, then we can go from there.
The fucked up part is the only... Outside of the 2 running backs I forgot, we have 3 tight end ones on our team. Like,
yeah.
We have 3 tight end ones on our team. Trade one of them for something, a piece, anything. You guys really just choked this game away. Yeah, so I just don't know. I don't know what Pittsburgh does. I don't know who lands. I just hope that we do get a defensive-minded coach. The offense will come, but we've seen it this year. A good defense can basically carry a team to the playoffs. Shout out to the Houston Texans. But that's it for as far as teams. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is the quote-unquote superstar in Philadelphia. And I'm not talking because you know what word I just used. I'm not talking about their quarterback. Top landing spots for A.J. Brown, if he gets moved.
Well, the number one spot is obviously the Patriots. A.J. Brown was a Patriots fan as a kid. He's expressed desire to go play with Vrabel. The Patriots have the money. They have the ability to get him. Drake May needs another receiver. Like, Stephon Diggs is old. Boutte is great, but you want to pair him with another guy. I think the Patriots are pretty clearly his top landing spot.
For me, I think it's New England or Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore would be great, I think.
That's exactly what he needs. Is they need a receiver one. He needs a scenery change. He gets to go play with that team, and he will look phenomenal.
Brother, if you let Lamar Jackson get A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry on the same team, you can.
We're going to a lockout in 28.
Yeah, literally, because they're going to the bowl, bro. Like, yeah, it's up.
I say Buffalo.
I can also see that too. Anywhere that's got an elite quarterback.
Yeah, because
that's not Cincinnati.
Like, what people don't understand, even though A.J. Brown is great, he needs an elite rusher so he can open up one-on-one opportunities with him, and that's why he was with Derrick Henry on the Titans, and he was getting all those yards. He has Saquon, getting all those yards. If he doesn't have an elite running back that's creating these one-on-one opportunities for him, he just doesn't show.
Well, and that's the other thing too is he going back to Baltimore, you get to get paired with your former teammates. So for him, that's like an extra thing. I get to go back and see Derrick Henry again, and this time we're actually on a real competent franchise with a chance to win something. And I think that's something he definitely. And he also doesn't have a quarterback that can't throw the ball, like more than 2 yards away. He actually has Lamar, who has an arm. So, I think there's a lot of pluses there for him.
I will also say that as crazy as this sounds with A.J. Brown's ability, I don't think this actually hurts Philly as much as people would think, because they do technically have 2 receiver ones on their team. Devonta Smith is a proven receiver one, and he just had to play second fiddle to A.J. Brown, but I don't think he really played second fiddle as much as people want to say he did. So they can go out, they can trade him, they can bring in another young receiver to learn in that system as long as they get a solid offensive coordinator. But yeah, so I mean, I could see this working for any side that wants to do it. Another spot that I thought about, just depth for depth type of things, and this might sound crazy to you guys. I could see him going to Green Bay in like a 2 or 3 for 1 situation. Give them 2 receivers at a depth thing, and then something on top of it.
I really hope not. I feel like that'd kind of be a waste.
Well, if they go out and trade for A.J. Brown and they get the piece to fit with Micah on defense.
Yeah, well, because I just don't trust Jordan Love, and I just feel like
that's why they should just ride with Malik Willis.
I actually agree with you. I agree. What I would do, as if I were them, is I would trade Jordan Love. You get very solid draft capital, and you keep Malik Willis, and then you build around him.
But you know what happens? But you know what happens as soon as Jordan Love leaves, right?
Huh?
He makes an NFC Championship game and then loses. Shout out!
Yeah, well, I mean
that's
Favre. No, it's a good point. I see, Jules, I see the face that you made when I said that. I want to remind everybody Malik Willis was a first-round talent. Everybody had him projected in the first round. The only reason he didn't go is because he's from Liberty. Yep. That's literally the only reason. He has first-round ability. Everybody knows that.
Just because he looked like ass in Tennessee doesn't mean he's terrible. Everyone looks like ass.
Yeah, well, and everybody looks like ass in Tennessee. It's Tennessee, bro.
Mm-hmm. Tell that to Tannehill with an AFC Championship appearance.
I was going to say, so Tannehill...
Yeah, but that defense was nasty.
Also, no, to be clear, Ryan Tannehill does not have an AFC Championship appearance. Derrick Henry has an AFC Championship appearance that Ryan Tannehill happened to be a part of.
It was literally Derrick Henry in that defense. Like, it was gross.
Yeah, that was Derrick Henry's football team. That was not Tannehill's football team.
Yeah.
No.
Tannehill, I will say Tannehill did have good moments, but Tannehill with Tennessee is exactly kind of what we're seeing with Caleb right now. It was like, you're the most inconsistent quarterback. You play one quarter, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's exactly what Tannehill was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's all I had for that. So we can move swiftly into the games. We can start with the most interesting game from the weekend, in my opinion, by far, just because of the narratives that came out after. We can start with Denver and Buffalo. Did anybody else actually see Bo Nix get hurt? Like, I'm just confused.
No.
Like,
I don't think anybody saw it because it came as a shock to everybody when like the notification.
Like he said it happened on the second to last play of the game, yet he was still able to walk out and do the handshake line. He didn't look like he was in any discomfort in his post-game interview. I understand like the adrenaline's pumping at that point, but like a broken ankle and he looked like he was walking just natural on it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody I don't think anybody saw it happen. That game was really interesting, honestly. The Broncos did win. Definitely no thanks to their rushing game because their run game was absolutely atrocious. Like there was nothing. Bo Nix led the team in rushing. They didn't have anything going on there. Bo Nix, he looked good, but like it wasn't like crazy good. He went 26 of 46. The completion percentage wasn't ideal. He had a pick. I think he was like good. He just wasn't like amazing. But the biggest problem for this Buffalo team was that the Winter Soldier could not hold on to the football. I think like it's just turnover after turnover. I get that there were some calls that were very, very sus. I agree with that. But that doesn't. But the thing is, you're not in that position if Josh Allen isn't consistently turning the ball over. In this game, Josh Allen finishes with a 48 QBR. Like, it was not a very good game for him. I think the stats are very deceiving. He honestly was probably more efficient on the ground than he was through the air. But James Cook, he had 24 carries for 117 yards. He was doing the same thing he's been doing all year, but this time the turnovers just kind of sold.
I was going to say that to me was the only bright spot, and I was shocked about it because we all talked about they're not going to be able to get the run game off the ground against New England. And James Cook showed up and did his thing.
James Cook, we really have to have that conversation. He is a certified top 5, top 3 guy in the league at running back, and there's no doubt about it. He just shows up. But Josh Allen, those turnovers, man, they hurt. They hurt very badly, and It makes people question that top 4 spot. I don't know. It makes people question.
There's others that have fraudulent cases too, and that's
true too.
Jules, what about
that? We need to put into question this whole Josh Allen thing because we were talking about this before, and I've been predicated on this. Josh Allen, dog, this was your time to, play mistake-free football and go into Denver, even though it's a tough space, and be the superhero that everybody claims you to be. You didn't fucking do it. You turned over the ball multiple times. You ran like a fucking idiot, running like this with the football here instead of tucking it like every other football fan and football player knows how to do, and you got hit from behind. This is why I get so critical about Josh Allen, because if you're winning MVPs don't do that. MVPs has never done that. You need to be able to not turn over the ball, and this has been the big thing for Josh Allen since he's been in the league. Turnovers. And now it's costly turnovers to where you're not making AFC championships without all of your kryptonites in the fucking AFC. So,
I mean, dude, even with Lamar's worst moments, like in the playoffs, like some of his most just awful moments, I don't know if I've seen one like Josh Allen, where he's running like this. He's got the ball here. He's trucking, and then he just it just goes over here, like behind him. I'm just like, What are you doing? Touch the ball.
It's idiotic. It is idiotic.
Also, I don't know if you guys realized, but it makes me sad to say this, but first off, shout out to Bo Nix. You are the first 2-time Madison Beer Trophy Award winner. But with the ankle breaking, that does mean that the Madison Beer Trophy is his until next season, because it does not pass to Jarrett Stidham. He did not beat the quarterback. Therefore, Bo Nix will win the first Madison Beer Trophy of the Year award.
Congratulations, Bo Nix.
It's a sad moment. It's a sad moment for the podcast, but
no, listen, you might have broken your ankle, but you did win Madison Beer, so that there is that.
And he's a 2-time winner, so.
That's true. Two-time winner is kind of insane. Does he get Haley as well or no?
No. No.
Interesting.
Do we need to start a trophy?
I mean, here's the thing. I would love for him to get Haley, because then Josh might remember who the Winter Soldier is, but
You know, we
I guess
saw it.
Haley's. I guess he really just got shook up by Michael B. Jordan, bro. But
Dude,
like,
we
I
saw
would
it
too.
in that wild card game. We saw the Winter Soldier, not the full Winter Soldier, but about 90% of it. And then
His name was James Cook.
No. The first game that was Josh Allen. This game, it was just it all went out the window. I don't know what happened. He just kind of lost focus.
You're put into question as well, because again, I think Bo Nix deserves a little bit of credit for being able to be now the second QB in Denver Broncos history who they drafted in the first round to win a playoff game. The other being Tim Tebow, Mr. Tim Tebow.
Let's go.
Tim Tebow didn't win that game. R.I.P. Demaryius Thomas. That was a phenomenal quick slant that you caught and took off for 83 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah. But now we have to put into question to where, like, because now Bo Nix had a good game and basically he's out, like, what the fuck is going to be up in the AFC now?
Well, that can move us right into our second game because exactly what I'm going to tell you is at this time of year, the Patriots really do struggle against either mediocre quarterbacks or quarterbacks that have no business being in the position they are. Patriots, the Patriots. You're welcome. You're welcome. Your MVP for the year is not Drake May. The New England Patriots MVP of the year is CJ Stroud. If I am Houston's coach,
I know, I feel it too.
Yeah, dude, don't worry. We're all feeling the pain because we want CJ to be good. But if I'm Houston's coach, I have a real big problem with your coaching philosophy. Mr. Longneck on your team bailed you out when CJ got hurt this year. He's proven he can do the job. Why is he not starting at halftime with CJ playing this bad? Davis Mills starts that second half. I was actually fully confident if Davis Mills walked out and started throwing the football that they would have won this game.
At the very least, they probably would have kept it closer. Like I think Davis Mills honestly could have like kind of righted the ship a little bit. He's pretty solid. Like I don't really have much of a gripe with him, to be honest. He's not bad.
CJ fucking Stroud. I got into the fucking camera a couple weeks ago and said, you don't need to do much. You just need to go and play average. Not even good, just average football.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, you had more than 3+ turnovers from yourself. And you got bailed out last week from that defense. You couldn't get bailed out this week because guess what? Drake May was able to turn over the fucking ball almost as much as you fucking did. And you weren't able to fucking do anything, dude. This gets so frustrating with CJ because that defense is Super Bowl caliber, absolutely. And that offensive line, I'm going to get, like, again, put context where it is. I was talking about this at the beginning of the year. That offensive line, dog shit. Dog shit. Yep. He had 0 time to do anything. So if you want to put in the context, like, majority of the time he's getting pressures, he can't make his reads, that kind of stuff. Even when he did get time, that motherfucker was looking cross-eyed. I don't know what he was looking at.
That photo that's going around the internet is so unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And you're the best Ohio State quarterback that has come out, and you're still dog shit.
Yeah.
You're still dog shit.
You know, and that's the worst part is it not only makes him look bad, it makes like the entire University of Ohio State look absolutely terrible. Oh man.
You know it says a lot. You know it says a lot when I'm backing an Ohio State guy to do good. So like CJ, man, I mean, I need you to take this off season, and if I'm you. I'm not dwelling on what just happened. I'm going and kicking the front door down of our executive's office, and I'm demanding an offensive line. Because can't get comfortable in the pocket, you can't get into rhythm even if you get time on 1 out of 5 snaps.
Not only that, hey CJ, let's not go on media tour dates with Micah Parsons this fucking offseason. Let's actually work on our game because you look like dog shit this year. Keep accountability, dog.
Tour dates are so fun.
Dog.
Dude, here it's just like CJ should have won this game. This is such a winnable football game. CJ should win a lot more than he does. It's a waste of a defense because this Texas defense is one of the best we're going to see in so long. It is so sad they went out like this. And I know CJ is better than this because I just the talent that he clearly has. All I'm saying is, Will Howard, if you for some reason come across this podcast, please, my brother in Christ, be the Ohio State quarterback to break the curse. Please.
Actually, please. I beg.
This Houston Texans defense alone gave up 21 points. 21 points for an average quarterback in today's NFL is nothing. Just go, right? You have a plethora of stuff, and now, granted, on top of the fact you had a bad offensive line, was it Woody Marks basically went down twice. Dalton Schultz got out. Cade Stover got out because you threw some fucking hospital balls. But you have a capable chance and you fucking blew it. Like, that is disgusting. Now, on the other side of things, Sir Drake May. Now I'm going to be putting like some kind of hater cap on because I do have you as my MVP this year. However, turning over the ball in those situations, unacceptable. You are lucky you played against CJ Stroud. And I'll use this argument that Retro's been doing against you this whole time. Not only do you have the weakest schedule in the regular season, your best competition up to date is playoff CJ Stroud. And now you're going to play against a backup. So you should prance into the Super Bowl. By
the way, if he doesn't, there is going to be a lot of narratives that are pushed in this offseason about Drake May.
Absolutely. And mind you, if he doesn't perform, again, putting this in the context, you just beat who they think, I disagree, but most people think that the Houston Texans defense is the best in the NFL. The Broncos defense is a top 3 defense in the NFL. So you have a completely good showing to where you're going up against perfectly great personnel. So if you translate, all props to you. But if you're not performing, I can give that excuse. But if you're turning over the ball and you look like dog shit like you did against the Houston Texans, there's serious conversations.
Well, I was going to say, because I think this is also very important. The difference between this week and last week is that the Texans trust CJ Stroud. They obviously he's their franchise guy, right? So the playbook is wide open and they trust him. The Broncos don't trust Jarrett Stidham. So what's going to happen is Jarrett Stidham's not going to make mistakes. He's not going to throw a bunch of picks or fumbles because every single play is going to be an RPO. It's going to be a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain. You're not going to be given turnovers this week. This week, you'll be given probably a lot of punts, but not necessarily a lot of turnovers, which means, Drake May, you're going to have to know how to do 70 or 80-yard drives consistently because instead of turnovers, you're going to get punts, and those are going to put you with much worse field position. So this week you're going to go against an elite defense without all the turnovers that just happened in the past few games. And this is going to be a very big proving grounds for you. It's in Denver, which historically has been a house of horrors for New England. They've lost over and over again there. Obviously, they lost to like the corpse of Peyton Manning with that no-fly zone defense. And hey, the Nick Foles, the Patriots don't play, traditionally great against backup quarterbacks. This is a huge game for Drake May. This is massive. Even if it doesn't seem like it, those are the most dangerous. I know that, the use of a trap game doesn't really work in this instance, but it certainly feels like it You're going to Denver, to a team that a lot of people are counting out because they've got a backup quarterback because their starter just got hurt. And although that seems like it should be easy, that's a hard place to play in a hard defense, and you better bet those boys are going out and playing for their soldier who fell. You better bet they're going out and playing for their general. They're going to win that game for Bo Nix. They're going to do their best.
Yes. Before we move on, again, lived in Philly when the whole Nick Foles thing happened, so I was incorporated of them pushing Nick Foles against Tom Brady in that whole playoff run. I got that energy. This Denver team is going to have that same exact energy, and I want to be very serious about this. Denver's going to rip your fucking head off. Not in the sense of like, oh, we're just good. No, they're going to be playing for something because they have something to prove that we're Super Bowl caliber and that Bo Nix got us there. Now we need to trust ourselves to get dragged to this Super Bowl. So they're playing for something, and Drake Bay, you better lock the fuck in, Mr. MVP.
Yeah, Drake.
If you thought the Chargers defense got to you, dude, if you thought the Chargers got to you in the first round, just wait for this defense.
Nick Bonito is going to be in the backfield about 32 times during the course of that game.
He might set an NFL record in pressures.
He might, dude. He's going to be
more Zach Allen.
Yeah. Well, Jules, it's a nice jersey you got on there.
Do I have the floor?
There was a lot of.
I have the floor?
Well, let me bring the game in. Don't really know how to bring the game in. There was a funeral held in Seattle, and it wasn't for the Walking Dead offense of the 49ers. It was it was for the entire franchise.
Can we
they put the Niners 6 feet under, which is ironic because they only scored 6 points. But
Jules, before you take over, can we just all have a moment of silence for the San Francisco 49ers?
Absolutely
Fuck no.
49ers.
You can have a moment of silence for Christian McCaffrey winning Comeback Player of the Year this year. That's about it. Jules, you have the floor to talk about your team's belt to assery.
I want this to be established. Why I've been so high on this team this whole year is because of the defense. And I said Sam Darnold doesn't need to do much. He ended with what, 160 yards?
124. He barely even threw the ball.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
This was tied with in NFL history the largest margin of victory. The other game, the Super Bowl against Denver, again with the same caliber of defense, with the same identity. This type of feel this is where the same caliber is because Percy Harvin basically returned a kick, right? Rashid Shaheed returned a kick. We had multiple picks in that game. Ernest Jones, all-pro second team, picking off said top 7 quarterback Brock Purdy, keeping said MVP candidate Christian McCaffrey to under 75 yards total. This is the caliber. This is the caliber of defense, and this is the electricity that is going to go through Seattle because we have been the real deal this whole year. And San Francisco, I'm so glad that we got our get back for the last time we met you in the playoffs and you put belt to ass to us. This is our fucking get back. You guys said that we're going to go to you guys like we did a couple years before and go to LA and do the same thing. No, absolutely not. You guys were fraudulent from the rip. You're the fakest 12-win team in the NFL. The reasons why we're doing, like Justin said last week, blood rituals so Christian McCaffrey could be healthy this whole year. Now, for Seattle's sake, going into next week, with Zach Charbonnet tearing his ACL, I'm genuinely concerned because no offense, K9, you're a fraud. I don't think you're going to be able to do this by yourself. I think you need another running back, and it's funny enough. Guess who just unretired from the NFL? Chris Carson. Chris Carson is specifically thinking about coming back and re-signing with Seattle because of what happened. That is how concerned I am with K9 because that Rams defense, that rushing defense is just as good as ours, and K9's not going to be able to do shit. I already predict it. So Sam Darnold, you are going to specifically need to show up again, like you did the first 2 times. Do it again, and we're on the Super Bowl. I'll be quiet.
My thought behind it is, I understand that, but I don't know if you heard me last night when I talked about it. I said that this opens up a really interesting thing for Seattle to start trying to do. If K9's going to pound the middle, I'd really like to see Rashid Shaheed get involved in the run game on either end arounds or high motions, kind of like Brandon Ayuk did in San Francisco. I would really like to see them try and incorporate that. Granted, that might actually blow Sam Darnold's brain, and then Anthony Bradford might actually screw you out of a playoff game. But I still think it could be an interesting concept, especially with the misdirection that your team causes. If they start running the ball away from JSN's side on a fake play action drop-off, this could actually be a really effective situation for your team. Chris Carson? Yeah, right. Anyway, no, you can say K9's a fraud, but at the end of the day, K9 has really carried your running game this year, and you can big eye me, blow your brain, whatever you want, but like K9 was the workhorse on the running side of things this year, and Zach Charbonnet just looked really good because he got to go punch it in off of the benefit of Kenneth Walker. So basically what you're telling me is Kenneth Walker can get you to the 15 to 10 yard line, and Darnold or Shaheed or Kenneth Walker just need to punch it in. So this has been your team all year. It's just been Chardonnay looks a lot better because he's the one racking the touchdowns. K9 was the one that was actually the driving force of running the football. So is he going to get benefit of reap reward here? I mean, you got NFL talents out here saying that imagine if K9 was the guy that got to do everything all year if Chardonnay didn't exist and da-da-da-da-da. So, like, my thing behind it is like, I understand the pissed off frustration with Kenneth Walker because he isn't as good as you wanted him to be, but he's also been very complimentary to this passing offense that Sam Darnold has led this year. I mean, JSN, holy shit. We knew he was going to be good, but I don't think we expected this in year 2. But I'm just excited to see if K9 can actually live up to what not only some of the fans think, but what his peers think he can do. So, also, Jules, I want to apologize foremost because I do think Seattle's going to win, but some way, somehow, I don't know how bearable you'll be if Seattle wins the Super Bowl. It'd be kind of like if Retro's team was healthy all year, or if the Bulls were playing good. But that's just me. So I do think your team's winning, and I will be happy for you, but you will be unbearable until the next Super Bowl.
I'm not going to be one of the again. I'm more of a basketball guy. So
yeah, I'll hear defending champs once every 2 weeks. I promise.
Go ahead, Jules. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, rushing wise, we're one of the best rushing teams in the NFL, and that definitely comes from K9. But that also came with Zach Chardonnay because with K9 being in and out of the lineup for years, this is his only second 1,000-yard rushing season, correct. And he didn't even eclipse what he did his rookie year. And like you said, I've been frustrated because of what he can be. But now the situation is that this rushing defense in LA that's legitimate is going to hound him, and he needs something to where there needs to be a complementary. We talked about this with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery the past 2 years, right? They're so good complementary-wise because Jahmyr Gibbs prior to this year was getting all the yards, and then David Montgomery was just punching it in. Same thing. K9 was running all the yards, and Zach Charbonnet was punching in. I understand that dynamic. But why I'm so concerned is he has a good game against an injured defense, and this Rams team is not injured. This team is a good one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL. I just don't think he'll be able to be the bell cow of what he should be, because they're going to keep him in check. So I think by default it's going to go to Sam Darnold because we're not going to be able to predicate to running the ball, and that sets up our pass game. So I just think it's a huge concern. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So here's the first thing. Any 49ers fans that watch this podcast that happen to do TikTok, I'm not entertaining a top 10 conversation with Brock Purdy anymore. That's done. I probably am not even entertaining a top 15 conversation. Top 20, maybe, if you're lucky. 15 of 27 for 140 yards and a pick. Was he off Hennessy? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, was he off a substance? Gang, this is awful.
This is why we talk about Drake May being better than Brock Purdy. This game
and easily, by the way. But as far as this is concerned, it's like, the first thing I do, you always do the test. Did Christian McCaffrey have over or under 20 carries? If over, win. If under, loss. He had 16 touches. So, they lost the game. Very, very typical. Speaking of, Brock Purdy led the team in rushing, which just kind of goes to show you that nothing was working. But as far as this is concerned, Brock Purdy played miserably. It's just an awful game from him. Bro had no idea what to do against this Seahawks defense. I don't know. He literally just didn't have a clue. Jake Tongas lost a fumble. Brock Purdy lost a fumble. Everybody was here a fumble, there a fumble, here's a pick. And the Seahawks, they just dominated. It was just dominant. It was literally a funeral. It was just the Seahawks putting them in the grave. I said this before. I'll say it again. The 49ers will be better off if they traded Brock Purdy and kept Mac Jones and worked with him, because it's the same thing. Kyle Shanahan can work with any quarterback, and honestly, Mac Jones might be able to do it a little bit better. I remember once upon a time he made the Patriots into the 1 seed in their conference. Yep. So, it's like, maybe Mac Jones can figure it out. The other thing is, it is a concern. Sam Darnold, didn't have to do much, but I don't know if he can do much. That oblique is like a problem. We don't really know the extent of the damage that's been done to the oblique. Obviously, this game, they were able to rely solely on K9, and he was able to come through. But, can he do that against the Rams? I don't know. That's kind of the question. The 49ers are very hurt. The Rams, you've still got tons of great defensive players. It's something that you have to be worried about. Shout out Rashid Shaheed. Justin, I remember we were talking about this earlier in the season. We were like, as soon as he really locks in and learns his role in this team, he is going to be dangerous, both on the receiving end and the returning end. And this game, we saw the returning end. So good for him. My biggest thing, I think, is just I'm worried about Darnold because I just don't know. Now it's not really a playoff choking thing. I can trust that he'll just get out of the way, which is way better than it was last year. And that's really all the Seahawks need. I'm just worried if he can even throw at all because of that shoulder, or not the shoulder, the oblique. I don't know.
Well, I want to give Justin. You might be real happy when I say this. Certain person on this podcast said that a certain Caucasian man needed to start showing up specifically for said QB, and and said podcast mate was right about it. Cooper Kupp did show up because they were bracketing the hell out of JSN, and with the oblique, Sam Darnold wasn't he looked kind. I don't think he looked like a statue, but there was he was still delivering it with a lot of velocity, but it was just kind of he wasn't moving, left or right. But he was making some really good throws, specifically Cooper Kupp, where now, okay, if you have an oblique injury, you have somebody who's underneath to kind of break through. And he was able to do that consistently. So if it is bothersome with him in the game next week, looks like Cooper Kupp might have some type of revenge game against LA.
Well, and this is it's been so weird in the playoffs. I was looking into this. The QBRs of all these guys, Jaden Daniels last year had a higher QBR than every single quarterback in this entire playoff bracket as a rookie. The problem that I have is that we're not seeing any good quarterback play. It's just a bunch of mid. There's no quarterbacks that are putting up crazy performances or even good performances. They're just average. I want to see a quarterback get after it. Your MVP Matthew Stafford. I'm fine with him winning MVP, Where is that in the playoffs? I haven't seen this like crazy performance from him. You still have Puka. It's not like he just went away. You still got Devontae. He didn't just go away. You still have Kyron Williams, who was receiving back. He didn't go away. So like, where is your crazy performances? It's just been average. Everybody's been average. Sam Darnold has an excuse because he has a hurt oblique. Brock Purdy has an excuse. He's terrible at football. The Bears.
I think that's an excuse. I think that's just a reason.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a reason and an excuse. Okay, the Bears. Caleb Williams has an excuse, and it's a reason. He's the most inconsistent quarterback of all time. But like, for me, it's just like, I don't know. I'm worried about Darnold. I hope the oblique is fine. If it is, I think the Seahawks will be fine. And also, as far as JSN is concerned, shout out to him because even being bracketed, I know he only had 19 yards, but he still managed to get a touchdown because you can only do so much to contain him, but he's still going to get a touchdown eventually. So good for him.
Yeah, Jules, I appreciate the shout out. As a bigger creator that we've had on this podcast said, they might not know the consistency or the concept of ball, but they're chill. Boy, I'm gonna just start the war. You can eat your words. Like honestly, like we're both Steelers fans. We should be on the same page here. Like I know what I'm talking about. I just don't have the platform you do yet. But yeah,
until he steals it.
Well, yeah, and the Rams one. So NFC Championship game next week. Seahawks play the Rams.
They do.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. We'll talk about it. I'll rant a little bit. I'll give my flowers where flowers are due, and then I will critique one said receiver number one for being a football terrorist. The Bears. I think I had more belief in this team this year than Bears fans did. I'm going to be wholehearted about it. I said this from the jump. I said that this team has young talent. Caleb has things to work on. Their defense is just going to get better. There are things that need to happen for this team to take the next step. The Bears got literally to exactly where I said they would get to. I didn't say they'd win the division, but I said they would win their first playoff game. That happened. They won the division. They exceeded that expectation. However, we get to this game. Caleb does Caleb things, and I really need him in the offseason to work on things, maybe not as much as CJ Stroud needs to work on things, but work on things nonetheless. The consistency needs to happen. I think he sees about 60% of the field when he's under center. I think he needs to just work on getting that check one, check two. He needs to open his eyes and see the whole field. I think he has this preconceived notion before a play that he's going to this spot and he's not checking anywhere else. That's one thing he needs to work on, and I think if he does that, we're going to see the consistencies in Caleb Williams go way down. He has a great arm. The man has the arm talent. He just doesn't have the mentality right now to do the thing. That will change. This team looked good. However, Ben Johnson did exactly what Ben Johnson did, and it was my biggest worry. There were certain situations in this game where Ben Johnson overcomplicated the playbook, which overwhelmed Caleb. Does Caleb always make the right decision? Absolutely not. He's probably about a 35 to 65 where it's good versus bad. DJ Moore, your receiver one. I understand Caleb made the wrong read on this play, but if you are a receiver one on this team where you are expected to deliver, and you stop running a route that gives a strong safety, free safety, whichever side of the field it was, I don't remember what the strong side was on the play, you cannot, in this time frame, in overtime, give up on a route. If he doesn't give up on this route, he scores. Because where he was at the time, the safety was already diving. There was nobody there to make the tackle. He catches this ball, the safety is missing him, and he's scoring. And that's ball game, the Bears move on. I understand Caleb missed the wide open receiver on the left and missed his check down 5 yards in front of him. They had the ability to do it. However, things I give Caleb credit for. Caleb did drop a dime from a set position on an overtime play where he scrambled, or on a fourth down play where he scrambled back 15 yards. He wasn't set to throw. His feet were aligned with his shoulders, and he delivered an absolute dime.
That's a top 5 throw ever, by the way.
I think it might be the greatest
throw. Throws this year that could go down as top 10 throws all time. That's what's insane here. He has 4 throws this year. His clutch factor, like Retro said multiple times, not in question. Not in question at all. He is a very clutch quarterback. It's all
unless it's maybe in overtime. That might be a
question. Well, the one that I had a problem with is he was under the Packers regular season game. He did underdeliver the ball that Keyshawn Nix intercepted. That did happen. Yeah. That sucks. Yeah. That should have been a free win. Didn't matter. Didn't hurt their season. Didn't whatever. Cool. But this team going forward is going to get better. They have DJ Moore, who, football terrorist. I would love for you to swap him out for a receiver of the exact same caliber. Please do that. They have Luther Burden and Roma Dunze, who are going to be great complements to this offense going forward, and I think Luther Burden will emerge as the number 1 in 3 to 4 years. They have Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet, who are 2 absolutely budding tight ends in this league. Colston Loveland is, in my opinion, and you guys can say I'm wrong or think it's an overstep this early, Colston Loveland to me is on a Jimmy Graham trajectory, and I think that's what he can do. I don't think he'll reach the peak Jimmy Graham did, but I think he'll be just like him. Cole Kmet's going to be a very good check down 8 to 13 yard tight end. They both block very well. They have a 2-headed running game in DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. I don't know how many good years Swift has. Also, Swift had an up year this year, which means he's guaranteed to suck next year. That's just the way his career goes. So Monangai is going to have to carry a load next year. Their line that they bolstered this year, minus the one injury that moved Tooney to left tackle, was good for them all year. Caleb just needs, like I said, if Caleb can go in and work on the quarterback mindset, not the quarterback play, I think this team can do exactly what they did this year, next year, and maybe win one more game next year. But the next 3 to 5 years is your window if you want to have a chance as the Chicago Bears, because there is not going to be another chance. The league is very competitive, only getting more competitive. Young teams like yourself are emerging to become contenders, and we're seeing the dwindle of veteran quarterback play. Veteran receivers are going to be retiring. Running backs are going to be retiring. This is your window right here. If I'm the Bears, this loss isn't as bad as you think it is, even though the Rams played like dog shit, and you should have beat the MVP who played like dog shit, who was the second best quarterback in the game. I don't care what you say, Retro, about stats. He didn't do anything impressive. He didn't do anything to lead his team. I don't care what you have to say about Stafford in this situation. Caleb was the better quarterback because Caleb took the risks to try to get his team to win. Stafford sat back and let his team do it for him. That's the difference. So Matthew Stafford played Sam Darnold football. He had to get out of his own way to win a game. So that's the thing I can't stand about the Rams right now. The Rams are playing exactly what you talked about, Retro, 2 weeks ago. They are doing the we're playing not to lose. They are not playing to win. So that is why I have Seattle putting belt to fucking ass, just like they did to San Francisco, and showing that they are emerging as a top contender for the bowl for the next 2 to 3 years, and they are head and shoulders better than every other team in their division.
Okay, so I agree with some of this and disagree with a lot. So I'll get into this. Caleb Williams was comped to Patrick Mahomes coming out of college. He's not. Caleb Williams is the Patrick Mahomes of Will Levis's. And what I mean by that is that nice clutch factor. That's great. He makes dumb mistake after dumb mistake after dumb, stupid mistake. If there is a quarterback in the league that I wouldn't want to have on my team for the first 3 quarters, he's top 5. The problem that I have with Caleb Williams is it's just he doesn't understand what he's doing like three quarters of the time.
You really want to fight again like we did on the NBA podcast last night, don't you?
Matthew Stafford played much better in this game. Why? Because while Matthew Stafford got out of his own way, Caleb refused to do the same. He throws 3 interceptions. Caleb can't get out of his own way the whole game. My problem is that Matthew Stafford, at least, yes, he didn't perform well. I'll give you that. He went 20 of 42. He played very mid. But I'll take mid over throwing the game away. Caleb Williams did not play well. He played a lot worse than that. The fact that his defense was able to keep him in the game is a very big testament to the Chicago. And I'll give him that.
Caleb in the game.
That defense is great. Caleb Williams throwing turnover after turnover. He doesn't have 3 interceptions. The Bears win this game. And then we wouldn't even be talking about this.
One of the interceptions was an interception. The other 2 were whatever.
No, all 3 of them were picks.
The first one's a punt. Here's the thing. I said this to you as it happened. I said it's a pick. Fine. But as a DB, you know better in that situation. You bat that ball down. You don't pick a ball off at your 3-yard line.
Sure, but a quarterback shouldn't be trying to. A quarterback doesn't get that excuse. For the DB
Great,
should.
Let's talk about how many throws that Caleb did that one time where he oversailed the receiver. We can talk about how many times Matthew Stafford looked like he didn't know how to throw a football and how many times he airmailed receivers by 20 yards.
And again, as far as Stafford is concerned, I don't think he played a great game, but he played a better game because he got out of his own way. Caleb Williams cannot get out of his own way. Yes, the guy has a clutch factor, though in overtime, that
sounds like Caleb is a game changer and Stafford's a game manager. It sounds like Caleb has to go make the plays.
A game changer for worse or for better, and this time it was for worse. It's very, very clear that in some circumstances he can be a clutch game changer, the same way Matthew Stafford can be. Matthew Stafford has been clutch consistently. He was clutch against the Panthers. He got them the drive to win the game. My point is that as far as Caleb Williams is concerned, yeah, he might have a bit of a clutch gene, though again in overtime, I don't know. But I don't trust him 80 to 90% of the game. I don't trust him. That is my biggest problem with Caleb Williams. I've been saying it all year. He is extraordinarily inconsistent. As far as the Bears next year, I don't think I'm going to pick them to make the playoffs. This team seems like the most obvious regress to the mean possible. I think they had like 7 or 8 game-winning drives. That typically doesn't last. And the Bears, instead of playing a mid-schedule this year, are going to play the hardest schedule in their division, as well as having to play their division mates 6 times. They've got the Packers twice, they've got the Lions twice, they've got the Vikings twice. That is not going to be enjoyable for them, and they've got the hardest schedule in their conference. I think that while they're probably on an overall positive trajectory, and I'll definitely give Justin credit where credit's due, this team is extremely well coached. Ben Johnson is great at his job. At the same time, I don't think that they're going to make much progress on this from next year. I think they'll probably regress a little. And Caleb Williams genuinely worries me, as he always has, because until he learns how to deal with the inconsistencies in his game, which, by the way, is the most of his game, is his inconsistency, if he can make those clutch quarters his whole game, he's going to be amazing. But I don't know if he can do that, and that's my biggest problem. He is used to playing USC ball, which is I'm playing against accountants at corner so I can throw the ball up and it'll work because I'm Caleb Williams and I'm more talented than everybody around me. You're in the NFL now. That doesn't work anymore.
So my takeaway before you guys have your another fight like we did yesterday.
No, I'm just tuning out.
I am. That's the most to me. I think that's the most like what if thing possible. Because, yes, he did throw 3 picks, but why are we sitting here and say that Stafford didn't fumble the ball twice and Kyron Williams didn't fumble the ball? So there's just because you recovered it doesn't mean that you had possibilities of turning the ball over. And the fact that Matt Stafford got sacked 4 times. Caleb Williams had a clean pocket the whole game. I will give you the credit, is that Caleb definitely had some questionable throws. And Justin also said that. But at the same time, because you talked about QBR, Caleb Williams had a QBR of 72. Matt Stafford had one of 31. That is night and day. I much rather have somebody who is making those plays and has the capability of doing it. And yes, it's like he might throw you out of games, but that's the stereotypical gunslinger kind of thing, to where you have to just kind of overcome the kind of stuff. They did it with Josh Allen. They did it with Brett Favre. They did it with all these other gunslinger types, to where it's like, that's just kind of how it is. And it's what you prefer. And I understand that completely. Why I'm so concerned with LA and why I've been yelling it this whole year is because, again, they have been playing not to lose. And as soon as this Chicago Bears defense, the Bears defense, got pressure on Stafford, he did not look the same. He looked like he didn't know where the fuck he was. It looked like when we were talking about Stafford not even being playing this year because of his back. You know what I mean? So this is a huge question going forward, because I do think this is a stepping stone. I'm in agreement with Retro that they regress to the mean a little bit, but it's not necessarily like the worst thing in the world, because I'm saying the same shit about Detroit and Green Bay, is that they're still good teams. I think they'll regress to the mean because of the harder schedule, but that doesn't mean that they're a worse overall team. The record going forward, I don't really care about. They're still good. I think for the future, you need to revamp your linebacking core and go get more legitimate corners in the back end, because if you're creating pressure consistently with like, I believe it's Montez Sweat, and like it's a very underrated passing pass rush attack with Chicago. You'll be able to get away with a lot of the stuff. CJ Gardner Johnson, I know you had a pass deflected, and Kevin Byard, the fact you're still in the league, shout out to you. But those guys got to go draft some guys out of college. But I do think the Bears are on the great trajectory. Justin, I'll give you your flowers. You are absolutely right this whole time. I know I was more the median guy. Leaning towards not with the Caleb stuff, but I think for the future they should be set. For LA, I'm very concerned going to Seattle
now. Yeah, I mean,
do you want to get into the Seattle game?
In a second. I'm trying to find something quick. So, but yeah, no, I mean, Jules, you're 100% right. There are probably 2 players in the secondary that are able to stay, and there are probably 2 linebackers that are able to stay. That's just kind of where it's at with this team, and I'm trying to pull it up right now so this can
yeah, because Brisker had a sack, Gordon had a sack, Sweat had a sack.
Probably had the most clutch tackle I've seen out of any DB in a long time. Like, he came through the line and he wrapped up Kyron, and I thought he slipped it and I thought he was gone, and it turned into a, oh my goodness, like, he just did that kind of a thing. But God, can this load any slower so I can do this, please? I'm trying to get to it. I'm sorry.
That's how you get a campfire.
Yeah, between somebody like I said, you said Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat is great. Jalen Johnson's been great for them.
Montez Sweat is the GOAT, by the way.
I believe Will Edmonds, right?
Tremaine, you mean?
Tremaine. Tremaine.
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds has been great. Like, this team has the pieces to do things the right way, but they also, like Retro has said, they also have the ability to do things the wrong way. Like, Austin Booker needs to have steps as a young defensive pass rusher to do things correctly. But like I said, this team was so young and nobody expected them to be there except me.
I do want to say before we do move on, I know you had 2 picks, Kobe Durant, but that might be the most brain dead like coverage I've ever seen, because we talked about that throw. Kobe Durant, I'm sorry, what the fuck are you doing, dog? You were looking at homeboy, and then you kind of just like gave up on the play. The fact that you gave that off to make that into an OT, that was a complete momentum changer of that game. Like, again, you had 2 picks. So maybe that made up for it, but like, Kobe Durant, you're a terrorist.
Also, before we move on, anyone that wants to say that's pass interference, go back and watch the play. They're hand fighting, and Durant is the more aggressive one of the thing. The only difference is he had no business hand fighting with that man, and Caleb Williams dropped the dime. So anyone that thinks it's pass interference, no, that is absolute blown coverage, and Caleb put it exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to talk about these games because I think we've compared the teams as much through this whole thing, so we can just go straight into our pick'ems on this. Denver, New England, I mean, we've talked about how Stidham's going to be a big impact here, but this defense could do the thing. Is Drake May going to show up as the MVP? Second place voter for MVP? Like, what's going to happen here? So, Jules, we'll start with you.
I'm actually going to go against the grain, and I'm going to pick Denver. Because, like I said, I was immersed in this when Philly did this with Nick Foles. I know that feeling. That's such like an invigorating feeling that like you don't know what's going to happen, but as soon as you start to get kind of momentum, dominoes start to fall your way. You'll get a pick, you'll get a sack, all this kind of stuff. And Denver's super capable of being able to do that. And Sean Payton is a smart enough head coach to make Stidham into where he's not going to turn over the ball. Like I think that I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to pick them to win outright, and I hope Denver does good things. I'm gonna be on the fly with this. I think Denver's gonna do it.
Retro.
Everything in my brain tells me to pick tells me to pick the Patriots. Everything in my heart tells me to pick Denver, but I'm gonna listen to my brain this time. I think New England should be able to beat Jarrett Stidham. I don't think it should be much of a problem, but at the same time, I could 100% see a scenario in which Denver wins, and my gut is telling me Denver's gonna win this game. But I'm gonna ignore my gut and I'm gonna go for the Patriots. But I could easily see it going either way.
Yeah. Since the announcement of the Bo Nix injury, I've been very adamant that this is Drake May's time. After thinking about it and talking about it with a bunch of different people, I'm so on the fence with this game, like both of you guys are. I'm gonna go with that. Drake May's had his time in the sun. And I think that regardless of how bad Stidham can play, I think that this defense might score 21 points against Drake May trying to throw the ball downfield. So I'm going back on what I've said all week, and I'm actually going to take Denver's defense for the simple fact that it would be poetic to see the top two defenses go at it in the Super Bowl. Denver can have their shot at the rematch after the belt to assery they received the first time these two met. If Jarrett Stidham can do his best, Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, get out of your own way, throw for 150 yards, have like a QBR of like 80, less than 2 picks. He's gonna throw one. We just know that's gonna happen. I think Denver can squeak this one out. I do. I think I'm reverting and taking Denver. Meanwhile, to the other side, where everything is just so much clearer, sunshine and rainbows.
I was gonna say real quick, just I actually don't know if he's gonna throw a pick because I don't think they're gonna let him. I don't think they're gonna let him. I think it's just
he's gonna try to throw a 5-yard check down that gets tipped by a fucking receiver into a secondary player's hands. It'll be a pick.
Honestly, that could happen.
Right.
That could happen.
Yeah. Anyway, other side. Sunshine, rainbows, everything under the sun for unfortunately no fucking reason. Seattle's favored by 2.5. They should probably be favored by 25 instead of having the decimal there. Again, Seattle's playing to win. Matthew Stafford is playing not to lose. Matthew Stafford had problems with Carolina's defense, had problems with the Bears' defense. Jules, I'm going to use it for you at this point and this point only. This dark side defense is 10 times better than both defenses Matthew Stafford has played. There is everything in my being that Puka could still have 13 catches for 165 yards and they still lose this game. So I will be taking Seattle, and spoiler alert, next week, no matter who comes out of it, I'll probably be taking Seattle to win the bowl. Retro.
Man, I have no idea. Originally I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Which I still don't mind that pick. They're in the NFC Championship game, obviously, so they've gotten really far. Okay. Matthew Stafford is going to be clutch. I know that because he always is. Very, very rarely is he not.
Last week?
So I expect the clutch factor to come out at least a little bit.
He was clutch last week?
Well, he didn't have to be last week.
Oh, you're right, because the defense and his kick returner put him in excellent field possession.
There's only really been one time this season I can think of where Matthew Stafford refused to be clutch. That was against Seattle. However, they also put up over 30 points in that game against that dark side vaunted defense. which makes me think, okay, well, Sam Darnold went 12 of 17 for 124 yards. Can he do more than that? I don't know, because that oblique is a problem. You don't have Charbonnet anymore, so now you've only got one running back. You have a hurt quarterback, one running back, a receiver that's going to get bracketed the whole game, and you have Anthony Bradford. But at the same time, I don't see... It's just so hard. Playing in Seattle is a pain in the ass for anybody. Going to Seattle is hard. It's difficult. The other thing is, I also think it's true. It is going to be a culture shock going from playing, the Bears and playing the Panthers to playing the dark side defense. That's like going from a kindergartner to 12th grade instantly. And that's going to be true too. The way I would put it is this. This game, I'm almost certain, is going to be a one-possession game. I'm almost certain. I can't see any one of these teams breaking away. Not only is it a division rivalry, and the game this year, obviously the last game those played was a close overtime game. These two teams are both very, very well built. I think Seattle has a better defense. I think the Rams have a better offense. I think they both have different complements that make them so good. I think I'm going to pick the Seahawks, but it's going to be extremely close. I could see both of these teams winning this game. I really think that in either one of these games, it's almost a pick'em game, but I'm going to take the Seahawks. The odds makers agree. They have the Seahawks at -2.5. They're basically saying it's probably a pick'em game. I'm picking the Seahawks because even though I'm worried about Sam Darnold, even though I'm worried about JSN being bracketed, I'm worried about Joel having a literal terrorist on his offensive line. That being said, I'm not worried about the defense. And the saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships. When it comes to winning big games, your defense is the guys you need to show up. And I just have the expectation they will. It doesn't seem like Emin Wari is very scared of big moments. He might be a rookie, but that guy does not seem very scared, I'm going to be honest. And he's a whole grown man. I mean, that guy's a monster at safety. I'm not worried. Yeah, I'm just not worried. Like, I think that as far as that defense is concerned, it is going to be good enough to win. And that's what I have to say. But I think the Rams could win.
Jules, before you rant on it, I just want to be clear here. This is exactly what I was talking about last week when I said the Seahawks need to have a coming out party and this defense needs to present themselves to the league. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, and I think this is why a lot more people are moved on them. I still think probably America is split 50-50 on this game because there's a lot more belief in Matthew Stafford than Sam Darnold. But I don't think people want to count that this defense is just the number one.
Well, but also more than Stafford, that they have belief in the team. That team, that core won a Super Bowl together. Yes, you don't have Aaron Donald anymore or like Jalen Ramsey, but you've still got pieces from there. And Matthew Stafford is like the biggest piece, right? And so we already know he can win a ring. So he's got that experience. Sam Darnold's never played in an NFC Championship game before. This is like a new surroundings, new circumstance.
And that's completely fair. 3 points have separated LA and Seattle this whole year. 3. Yeah. I want to make this very clear for Seattle fans like myself. This means the fucking world to me. Because I want this so fucking bad. Fuck LA. Fuck LA right fucking now. Fuck LA. Fuck Matt Stafford. I wanted this since the fucking beginning of the year. I knew LA was going to be good, and I said, Seattle, we can contend with them. This was what I was talking about with San Antonio and like OKC. I was proved right there. I've been proved right now. Sam Darnold, don't fuck it up, like I said last week. Anthony Bradford, your head will be on the chopping block if you fuck this up. I just want this to be known right now. This is going to be separated by a fucking point. And Sam Darnold, if you have the last possession, don't force anything stupid. Kenneth Walker, do the best you fucking can. Go get a fucking Super Bowl, because I swear to God, if you don't, I will fucking lose it. You won't see me next week. I will nuke this podcast into the next fucking generation. I swear to fucking God. I'm sorry I got emotional, but this means the fucking world to me. So we can go into the fucking games, dude.
Hey, Retro. Well, he sounded like he was gonna cry coming from the basketball guy.
coming from the basketball guy.
And listen, I 100% understand the emotion. Well, I do. I understand the feeling of the emotion. I don't actually understand the moment because I've seen my team in one NFC Championship game in my lifetime, and I knew they were going to lose. But outside of that, I get definitely the feeling, 100%. This actually reminds me, just to bring it back to college football a little bit. The whole season, Indiana said, "Bring us Alabama." Everybody wants to talk about SEC competition. Everybody wants to say we're frauds. Bring us Alabama. And that was Indiana fans' rallying call the whole season. And then they got Alabama, and they ripped them a new asshole the entire game. I think it was, 38-3? They didn't slow down. Yeah. So what Seattle fans want is they want their team, they want to welcome the LA Rams into their stadium. And this time, they don't want it to be 3 points. They want it to be 21, 28. They want it to be a destruction. I think it is a possibility that can happen. I think it'll be close. But that being said, I think it's very possible. And I also think it would be very funny because I don't think Jules is going to be that insufferable. But you know who will be? 49ers fans. They're going to be the worst of all time if the yes. Seahawks lose the game. So
yes. I want I'm the basketball guy. I'm a Hawks fan. I'm not going to be like any fucking Birds fan. We're talking about this. I'm not going to push Sam Darnold into top 5 conversations. I'm not going to say Seattle. The only thing that you guys might say that I'm insufferable about is because I think my defense is the best in the league. That's completely biased, and you guys know. And there's a real conversation for them being top 3.
Yeah,
you guys disagree. Yeah.
I mean,
but
even the defense in the league.
Yeah, I don't push anything.
And JSN is like the best receiver in the league. That you say that,
right.
And this year he wins, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like all the stuff that I've said. I don't think has been delusional or outside the stuff for Seattle fans. I know there are delusional Seattle fans, and I'll keep you guys motherfuckers in check if I find you on a live because we're not pushing fake stuff. I like to be objective about my shit. So Sam Darnold, do your thing. If you're healthy. If that oblique looks fine, go be chucking up shit like you were doing prior to the bye week. Defense, do your thing. Special teams, Rashid Shaheed, please pull out your best Percy Harvin impression yet again. That'll be fantastic. Jason Myers, do your job for Justin's sake, because I know he fucking hates kickers. Do your thing for this podcast so we can go into the Super Bowl and start talking about whoever Seattle can face out of the AFC. It's probably going to be the Pats, but I don't know.
This whole thing is beautiful to me, Jules, because watching you do this is like watching an outer body experience for me when I was in high school when Pittsburgh played Green Bay. You're living in LA as a Seahawks fan about to watch this go crazy. I was a Steelers fan living in basically the heart of Packer country, praying to God my team could actually finish the season off. And
middle fingers to everybody fucking around, dog.
I got disappointed. So for your sake, knowing that feeling of I had to walk the halls of my high school and get berated for probably 2 months after that, hearing about how Green Bay beat Pittsburgh. For your sake, I hope that you can walk out in that JSN jersey with not just your middle fingers, but like a big old emote middle finger on a and just all over the city.
Well, again, I can't really relate because
your team sucks. We know.
Yeah, but I kind of can not in the NFL. But you best believe when UVA won the national championship in 2019.
You gotta stop bringing up college because that shit does not matter.
And I was living obviously in the state of Virginia, and UVA won the Natty. You best believe I was crying when I watched Tony Bennett cut down those nets, especially after the year prior.
Right, but here's the thing: you're living in the state supporting your team. Jules and I are basically behind enemy lines. That's
enemy lines. Yeah,
we are the covert agent trying to
literally.
survive.
And what sucks is that because of how big LA as a market is. They care about baseball a lot here, so I can't even talk shit because the Dodgers just fucking signed Kyle Tucker.
So they're gonna win the 5 championship.
Literally.
Let's not give them another reason.
Literally. That's a big reason why I want. So LA's already unbearable when it comes to talking sports with a lot of these guys here, because they're either Dodgers fans, San Francisco 49ers fans, or LA Rams fans, and it's I can't fucking win. Get away from me now. So,
Yeah.
or even Lakers fans. Like, fuck,
Well-
Jesus Christ. We can move on. I'll go on. I'll go on a
Field
tangent. I do
tangent.
want
Yeah,
to.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to my favorite segment is watching you two just fight each other.
Indeed.
I brought something up that I did last night for the basketball pod, but instead of 10 teams this time, I went 20 deep because I felt like college football to the NFL would have just been way too easy at 10 teams. So we're doing NFL represented by colleges. So I have the top 20 schools that are represented in the NFL right now.
Okay.
We're going to go back and forth between you two. Once somebody's out, they can go on a solo run. Once they miss a school, then the other guy's back in. We'll just see. We'll just see. So, Jules, you can start. I think I know where you're going.
The Ohio State.
They are at number 3.
Alabama.
Number 1.
Michigan.
Number 4.
LSU.
Number 5.
Georgia.
Number 2.
Oregon.
6, 7, 8, 9.
What other? Oklahoma.
10.
Texas.
8.
Interesting.
You have
Other schools.
You have
Oh, Penn State.
7. You have 6 and then 11 through 20.
Miami.
Jules, solo run.
Wow. Miami frauds.
Yo, and y'all were trying to say the U is back? Y'all are garbage. Yeah, not even top 20?
Just so we're clear, 20 and 21 were tied at 10, and they were no mention in the top 20.
That is so nasty.
I'll Florida State.
Retro, you're back in.
Yeah.
What?
That's kind of nasty. ACC frauds, by the way.
Apparently, bro. Okay. Okay.
The fact that you're missing the number 6 school here is kind of impressive.
Clemson.
Clemson is on here at 11, 12.
Thank you.
14.
There's an ACC. We do have ACC representation, bless.
USC.
USC is on here at 17.
What the fuck?
They are the 17th most represented school.
Ole Miss.
Jules, solo run.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy because that was going to be my next fucking guess, Richard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trying to think.
I believe in the last 10 years, all of these teams have made the college football playoff. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, you're missing a big one, and they're arguably one of the most controversial schools in college football.
Controversial.
What?
Interesting.
Especially this season, controversial.
That doesn't help me at all.
I'm not sure if you don't say their name, I'm going to be mad.
Oh.
That's a bad guess. Fuck.
Just throw a name.
I'll say Washington and let Retro just come back.
Washington, 19.
Wow.
There you go. Nice Kobe.
Fucking Christ. Is North Dakota State here?
Retro, you're back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'll take
because there's a
Notre
couple
Dame.
people.
You'll take Notre Dame at number 6. Yes.
Yep. I was gonna. As soon as you said controversial this year, I was like, yeah.
You
Notre
have
Dame.
11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 20 left. Jules,
Take a shot
it's
at
on you.
the. Oh no! Am I back in or is it? Solo?
You're back in with the Notre Dame. Jules is up.
We haven't. Is Arkansas here?
Arkansas is not here.
Okay.
Retro has a low run.
I'll take the Volunteers. Tennessee.
Tennessee at 16.
Okay. It's got to be SEC schools because or maybe. Okay, that's kind of a shot in the dark. I might save that.
5 seconds.
All right, I'll send a shot.
Iowa, number 12.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well. Okay.
I'm gonna have to
send another shot. I'll go for their counterparts. Iowa State.
Jules, you're back in.
All right.
Is A&M here?
A&M at 13.
That's a good one. Okay. Well. There's some SEC schools that I'm forgetting right now. How about Mizzou?
Jules, solo run.
Man, thought Missouri might be on there.
Wisconsin here?
The 20th school.
That's crazy. I never would have guessed Wisconsin.
They have 10 active players in the NFL.
Retro,
what about you didn't? The fact that Retro didn't say it as big as he was on Jonathan Taylor this year is insane.
Well, that's because he's the only player I can think of from Wisconsin.
What about? You got to remember they're a lineman school, they're a running back school, yes, and they have defensive players.
Apparently, they only have 10 players in the league.
What about Auburn?
Auburn's not here. Retro, you're back in. Wow. We're looking for school 11. We're school 11, school 15, school 18.
I feel like there can't be any SEC teams left because I feel. Florida.
Florida at 11.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
Jules, one of your favorite players went to one of the colleges that's left.
One of my favorite players? Oh, South Carolina.
Huh?
South Carolina.
South Carolina at 18. Jules, that's not the player I was thinking of, though.
So there's only one other team left? Wait, what is this team's place?
My favorite players?
15th.
15th. What team has, low-key talent, but, nobody talks about?
Low-key, but I'm just not going to say it. Low-key.
I think I know.
Jules just hit the
I think if it's what we were conversing about the other day.
Retro, I'm giving you one guess and Jules one guess, and then I'm gonna say it.
One team keeps coming up in my mind, and I know it's not them, but my ADHD brain won't let it go.
Just say it.
Nebraska.
Nebraska's not on here. Jules?
Okay, yeah.
Is it Illinois?
It is not. It is actually the home of the man who quoted, "How dare you bring a sorry-ass receiver at me like Michael Crabtree?" Stanford at 15.
Wow. Good for Stanford. Okay. Hey, listen, ACC representation. Good job, Stanford.
Next up, back to the original Pick 3, Cut 5. Worst playoff performances by quarterbacks in the modern era. So anything after, there's one outside of 2000, but it's combined with another year because he had 2 bad years. I'm just putting together.
I'm just saying this out loud. The fact that Stanford has more players in the NFL right now than Florida State. Florida State, you're fraudulent. Go ahead.
True.
And your most recognizable is
and more than Ole Miss, by the way. Which, wow. Yeah.
Stanford has I think Stanford has 15 at the 15 spot.
They're supposed to be a school of nerds. They're an Ivy League, bro. What are we doing?
Well, that's why Richard Sherman was so good at playing corner. Anyway.
Yeah.
First quarterback playoff performance we're evaluating is Donovan McNabb in 03.
This is the year that he's getting carried by T.O., right?
I believe so.
That's the year. I think that is.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. They make the bowl this year, right? And or am I tripping? I thought they made the bowl this year.
Go take a look.
He fucking I'm pretty sure he throws up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't this the throw up year?
The throw up year is
it's
crazy.
not. Apparently it's not. It's the year where it's the year he loses to the Panthers 14-3 and goes 10 of 22 for 100 yards and 3 picks. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, that is bad. Holy cow.
There's definitely worse. There's definitely worse.
There probably is, and I'm assuming it's the full playoff run, right? Because the first game was decent.
There are certain ones in here that just pertain to a game, but I do not have the game listed.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll consider this the full run, and the first game against the Packers he played well. So this is
Okay. I will cut this. Yeah.
Speaking of the Packers, Brett Favre in 2001.
Oh, I'm almost certain that it's some insane interception stat line. Mr. Gunslinger himself.
Mr. Gunslinger.
Brett Favre's the Michael Jordan of Caleb Williams.
Wait, he did have a comeback. Wait, he lost in the NFC Championship.
Brett Favre is the Jesus Christ of arm punting.
So I said I thought it would be a crazy interception number, and it appears as if I was very correct in that respect. Jules, are you looking at the game?
No. Which one is it?
Yeah, so they lose to the St. Louis Rams 45-17. He goes 26 of 44, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. That is disgusting.
Caleb Williams could never.
That is disgusting. That is truly that is awful.
I'm fine with a keep here if you want.
Yeah,
I know Justin hates Brett Favre.
I do.
Yeah,
indeed. That's why he made the list. Justin Herbert this year.
Oh boy. I mean, I don't know if it was like generationally bad, but it was like bad.
It was bad. I would cut this because like the excuse is like his offensive line was like dog shit, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like and his stat lines weren't like abhorrent, they were just bad. Like I think this is like a
stat line. He played one playoff game.
Yeah,
well,
it was bad.
Like stat line in the playoff game. It wasn't like.
So we're cutting
crazy.
this.
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme, 2008.
I'm not familiar with this because I only know about Jake Delhomme in the Super Bowl when he played really well.
I'm pretty sure I know what this game. I'm pretty sure I know this callback. I'm pretty sure it's fucking dog shit.
Cardinals 33, Panthers 13. It's not showing me the box score.
Wait. Playoff. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ouch.
W.
A.
W.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But by the way, shout out Fitz. He had 8 catches for 166 yards and a touchdown that game.
Oh, that's funny as fuck.
So
this feels like a keep. 1 touchdown to 5 picks and 50%.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie. I know we just had that reaction. I want to see more, and I do want to cut.
You have 2 keeps left, and you have this plus 4.
Jules, 1 touchdown to 5 picks, gang.
I feel like there's much.
In my opinion, this game is worse than Favre's game.
I think it's definitely comparable. I'm okay cutting though if you just want to like wait and see. I'm all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
We can wait.
I
want to
wait and see. All
right. Well, in honor of Seattle being back at this point in the year, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl 49.
Yeah.
What happened?
I will end this podcast episode right now.
That was one of these Super Bowls. To be fair, I don't think it's on the level of like.
It was definitely not on the level. I just needed one more, so I threw it in for funsies. Because it's to me, because my brother's a Seahawks fan, it is my favorite sports call to just walk down the hallway and just yell, "And intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler," and he just goes, "Fuck you."
You know, I'm a little confused because it says the Seahawks are up by 10 going into the fourth, and then it says
Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. We're cutting. We're moving on. Got it.
Moving on.
Moving on. Carson Palmer, 2015.
Oh, wait, I don't even know this. I don't even know this one. Carson Palmer, 2015.
I don't know this game.
What do we have in store? This is like Unc Palmer, right?
Yeah. When I saw the year, I was like, this name and year don't line up.
That's pretty bad. It's not quite as bad as Delhomme, but it's pretty bad. 23 of 40 for 235, 1 touchdown and 4 picks.
Yeah.
They lost 49 to 15 in that game, by the way. Yeah, that's a cut.
So you're keeping the last two?
That's fine.
All right. You cut McNabb, you cut Herbert, you cut DeLong, you cut Malcolm Butler, you cut Carson Palmer. You kept Favre.
Yeah.
You kept, and you guys might have to look this up, and boy, does this hurt my feelings. You kept Cordell Stewart in 1997 and 2001.
I know those. That's a W1.
Cordell Stewart, 1997.
Yeah.
That's a W keep.
Yeah. I'll let Retro look at it before I say the last name.
Well, let's take a little look-see here.
I believe it's the number 2 worst quarterback performance in the modern era.
There's no way it was that bad.
97 and 01 combined?
Well, I don't know, because 97... Can I see?
It's not. I'll just say it.
All I saw is 97. Cordell Stewart torches the Broncos, but it didn't show me the other one. Let me see 2001. 2001.
Just take my word for it. The game in question is, yeah.
What is the game?
Anyway, and the last one you kept is...
Oh my gosh.
That happened.
Does that say 0 of 10?
So anyway, the last one you kept... The last one...
how many?
Stop! Just let me finish! The last one is CJ Stroud this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was pretty generationally terrible.
All right.
I think we kind of got that right.
Overrated players since 2000. This has quarterbacks and running backs on it only.
Okay.
This one is up first just because I love the fight that gets put up between you two. Eli Manning.
It's a cut. Eli Manning's not overrated. Eli Manning is underrated.
Eli Manning's
but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because it's like there are so many other players that have bigger narratives for them. Eli Manning isn't even a topic of discussion, really. Not many people talk about him. It became a thing for like a week.
Oh.
Yes, there was like a week discussion on TikTok where a few people were like, "Oh, is he a Hall of Famer? Is he not?" 99% of people said yes, he's a Hall of Famer. 1% of people said no, he's not a Hall of Famer. Then everybody collectively agreed that he was a Hall of Famer, including you, and then we moved on.
So we're cutting?
Yes.
Okay. Well, since my brother just walked in the room and handed me my dinner, it's only fair to say that growing up he was a bandwagon fan and he picked the Giants and then followed Russell Wilson out of Wisconsin to Seattle. So the second name up, likely story, Russell Wilson.
No, he's underrated. I'll be honest, where it's due. He's underrated. People hate on him for no reason. In Seattle, he was very solid.
All right, getting that. Here's where fun happens, because I can just shit on myself right now. Najee Harris.
I'm gonna say cut, underrated. He had I think 3,000 or 4,000 yard seasons. He averaged 4 yards a carry. He was a very solid back. Absolutely, by all accounts. And the only reason Steelers fans don't like him is because he didn't have a breakaway factor. He was very, very good as an inside back. He was giving you 4 yards per carry. He gave you multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He's underrated. People hate him for no reason. I refuse to accept this narrative.
Well, I'm allowed to hate him. I'm the Steelers fan. That's why he's on my list.
No, Jules. No. Refuse to accept this narrative. No.
Go.
What, Jules?
Go.
Go? This might be the most universal keep out of everyone here.
Oh.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There were Dolphins fans that actually told me he was top 5. There were Dolphins fans after he led the league in passing yards that told me he was a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Yes.
Yeah, we're keeping Tua? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, well, he's overrated by his own team. The fact that he's still in the league shows that he's overrated. Like, he shouldn't be in the league. He should have a job.
Now for me to play the I know more college ball than retro game, since he didn't want to value Wisconsin for having NFL players. The guy who was just as good as Jonathan Taylor in college, Monte Ball.
Monte Ball? I don't think anybody overrates. I don't think anybody talks about Monte Ball.
He was overrated coming out.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fine.
They had a 3-headed monster of running backs with Jonathan Taylor, Monte Ball, and James White.
Yeah.
Well, okay. How many more keeps and cuts do we have?
You have 2 keeps and 3 names to hear.
I mean, we can keep him if you want, but like if you just want to say he was overrated in college, that's fine. Because then
I'm fine with cutting him.
Well, but the thing is, if we cut him, then we'd have to keep the last 2. Versus if we keep him,
like we just did the last.
You have 3 names to hear still, so.
Yeah, so we have.
3 names. Wait, we have 3 names after him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that would mean we only have 1 keep for 3 names, though.
So you're cutting.
You're cutting.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where fun begins. Tyreek Cohen.
Who?
Tyreek Cohen's not overrated.
Tyreek Cohen.
Are you talking about the actual Tyreek Cohen?
Yes, I'm talking about the actual Tyreek Cohen, the guy who is projected to be one of the shiftiest running backs, drawing comparisons to LaShawn McCoy.
That was fucking gross.
I don't know. I don't think these days Tyreek Cohen isn't overrated. Coming out, yeah, I guess.
I would say no. Cut him, and this just proves the point we should have fucking kept Eli Manning.
Eli Manning is not overrated. He's
cutting Tyreek Cohen. Got it. So you cut Eli, cut Russell Wilson, cut Najee Harris, cut Monte Ball, cut Tyreek Cohen to keep Tua Tagovailoa. By the way, you guys played this perfectly. You also kept Tyreek Cohen 2.0, Ashton Jeanty.
Based. I would have kept that one. Good.
And Kyler Murray.
That'll be it.
Yes.
Fuck Kyler. Fuck Kyler.
Yes. You like that? I stacked Cohen and GT back to back intentionally.
Hey, listen,
That's good.
That is perfect. Kyler Murray was paid like what, $200 million something guaranteed to play Call of Duty and do nothing for the Cardinals. Yeah, definitely fair.
Removed.
What a dog. Yeah. So that takes us to our history facts of the day. January 20th at time of recording. Nothing really good happened on this day. So I'm just going to read the results of the AFC and NFC championship games for 3 years that all took place on this day. AFC Championship 2008, New England beats the Chargers 21-12. NFC Championship game, same day. New York Giants beat Green Bay Packers 23-20 in overtime. 2013, Baltimore Ravens beat New England Patriots 28-13. NFC side of that, the San Francisco 49ers beat the Atlanta Falcons 28-24. 2019, AFC Championship, New England Patriots beat Kansas City 37-31 in OT. On the NFC side of it, Jules, I'm sorry, the Rams beat the New Orleans Saints 26-23.
Fucking PI. Fucking
you mean
PI.
the refs beat the New Orleans Saints is what you mean. The referees beat the New Orleans Saints.
Shout out to Jared Goff completely showing that off in whatever that interview was, and they asked him, was that PI? Did they call it?
Yeah.
No? Then it wasn't PI. Fuck you, Jared Goff.
The fact that game is called the NOLA no call tells you all you need to know. Like,
well, Jules, I'll let you take us out. Both of us are praying for your team to do the thing because outside of retro glazing Stafford all year, because 14 1-yard touchdowns moves him as an MVP candidate.
I don't glaze him. I'm a Stafford realist.
Right. Right. Like you said, he created Calvin Johnson. Anyway,
I did not say that.
Yeah.
Why are we just rage baiting today, bro?
It's not a rage bait. That's an exact quote. Yeah, Jules, we pray for you to actually get the job done because if there's any time for you guys to make a bowl, it's right now. You talk about it with your Spurs all the time about your window opening and closing and starting sooner than it is. This could very well be a one and done year because Sam Darnold is not going to recreate what he did this year.
They have Jalen Milroe, bro.
Right.
Fuck you.
So they'll go from first in the league to 5 wins because of Jalen Milroe.
Literally.
And literally, JSN's whole career will be ruined. So
yeah. I appreciate that. Hopefully magic fucking happens and we show LA that they've been fraudulent like they've been saying the whole fucking year. For We Don't Know Ball, for you guys who've been watching all the way through the rage bait of our guest here, Retro. Thank you.
I'm sorry, you mean the star of the show, I think you meant to say.
All right, Molly.
Continue, Mina. Continue, Mina.
I'm just saying that if you guys have watched us up till now, please like, comment, and subscribe to us. Again, we love the engagement. If you guys do talk to us off screen, follow us on our platforms of Retro, Jules Compton, and Justin here on our TikToks and our Twitters. Please just show some support. It's just 3 guys talking ball. For that, we'll see you next week, and let's go Hawks.
Better than JD5.
I think I got mine.